Welcome. Today I want to tell you a story about a mountain. Not an ordinary mountain outside of you, but the mountain within. Once there was a young woman named Maya. She lived in a quiet village, nestled at the foot of a huge mountain. Every day she looked up at its peak and thought, "Someday I will climb it." She imagined how the top must look, the air sharp, the view endless, the sense of victory. But mostly, she looked at her feet, at the path ahead, and each time the path seemed too steep. "Perhaps tomorrow," she'd say, and tomorrow turned into days, then weeks, then months. Maya sometimes asked herself, "Why am I hesitating? What's holding me back?" One evening, she went for a walk, reached the base of the mountain, and found a small stream trickling down its face. The stream was calm, almost shy, but it steadily moved downward. She realized the mountain isn't climbed in a single step. It's climbed one foot in front of the other. So she started. She woke up early. She laced her shoes. She walked toward the slope. The first steps were awkward, the ground loose, the wind cold, her lungs heavy. But each day she added one more step. She set no huge deadline, no grand expectation, just this: today I will move forward. Weeks passed. She reached the halfway mark. The climb grew harder, jagged rocks, unforeseen crevices, her own doubts whispering, "You are not ready." She remembered the stream again. It didn't question itself, it simply flowed. She adopted that spirit. She acknowledged the fear, felt it, then kept going. She learned a vital lesson here. Progress isn't always dramatic. Sometimes it's slow. Sometimes you don't notice until you look back. One morning she reached a ledge, and she saw below her the village rooftops. She saw how far she had come. The mountain she looked at each morning was now behind much of her path. Near the top, the air thinned. She felt weak at times. She felt tempted to stop, to settle part way. She thought, "Isn't this enough?" But then she asked herself, "Will I regret settling? Will I look back with if only?" The answer came, yes. So she took the final steps. At the summit she stood, wind around her, horizon wide. She didn't hear cheers. There was no cheering crowd. But inside her, a quiet satisfaction, a new view, and the mountain within changed shape. Here's what I want you to take away. You each have a mountain. It could be a dream, a change you want, a version of you you've barely met. Don't wait for the day you feel ready. Begin when you can. Don't judge only by leaps. Judge by steps taken. Don't compare your pace with others. The only comparison that matters is you versus you yesterday. And when you feel weak, remember the stream. It doesn't rush. It doesn't stop. It flows. Be that. The mountain within is climbed not by force, but by consistency. One step today, one step tomorrow. At the summit, you won't only see the view, you'll see how the climb changed you. Go ahead, start. The mountain is yours. Imagine a mirror, a clear, still mirror. You look into it and see a reflection. Many of us do this every day. We see our face, we see our body, but often we don't see the maker behind the reflection, the one shaping us. There was a young man named Arjun. He grew up thinking, "When I'm successful, I'll be happy." He studied hard, got a job, climbed slowly up the ladder. Yet each time he looked in the mirror, he felt something missing. He realized the mirror showed him an image, but not the story behind the image. He asked, "Who am I making myself into?" One day, Arjun met a craftsman, an old woodcarver named Dev. Dev had no big title, no high-rise office, but his hands shaped beautiful things: chairs, doors, frames. Arjun asked him, "How do you make something beautiful?" Dev smiled and said, "I start by deciding what it should become. Then I carve away what it is not." That struck Arjun. He reflected, I have been wanting to become something, but I never asked what I must remove. He realized self-improvement is not just about adding skills, it's also about removing what doesn't serve. He looked back at habits, at people, at routines. He asked, what do I need to let go of? He let go of fear of failure. He let go of comparison with others. He let go of the voice in his mind that whispered, "You're not enough." He replaced those with, "I'm growing. I choose my path. I value my own pace." As he did, the mirror in front of him changed, not immediately in the outside image, but in the way he saw himself. He stood taller. His voice changed. His decisions aligned with a deeper purpose. He learned, the maker shapes the mirror, not the other way around. The maker is your intention, your daily choices, your courage to edit your life. The mirror is what you see, but what matters more is what you are making. So I invite you, look into your mirror. Ask not only, who am I, but who am I becoming? What are you carving away? What are you building? And remember, the best masterpieces aren't made in a rush. They're made by hands that are patient, persistent, and honest. You are the maker of you. Shape your life with intention. The mirror will reflect it, and you will know, yes, this by my design. Picture a garden, a field of possibility. In that garden, you have seeds. Some are big, some are small. Some look unimportant, but every seed you plant has a future. There was a woman named Lena. She always dreamed of change. She wanted to transform her life, to grow into someone she admired. One spring, she bought a packet of seeds, sunflowers, daisies, and some tiny wildflowers. She thought, if I plant these, I'll see something beautiful. She tilled the soil, she poured water, she waited. Days passed. Nothing seemed to happen. She wondered, was it a mistake? Then, a small green sprout appeared. Unremarkable at first, she kept watering. She kept tending. More sprouts came. They were fragile. She worried. What if they wilt? She learned patience. She learned that growth is quiet. She learned that small seeds need consistent care before they show strength. She noticed the sunflowers took longer, but then soared. The wildflowers bloomed unexpectedly and bright. The daisies were steady, but simple. Lena reflected. Life works like this garden. We often plant big ideas, a business, a fitness goal, the new skill. But if we ignore the soil, our habits, our mindset, our daily actions, the seeds won't grow. And the seeds we overlooked, kindness, small effort, consistent reading, tiny habits, they may surprise us by blooming first. She remembered that one day she was discouraged. Heavy rain had battered the garden, some sprouts bent. She thought about giving up, but then she saw a small bud peeking. Resilience matters. Growth matters, even unseen. She also realized, you don't compare flowers side by side. You don't ask the wildflower why it doesn't reach the same height as the sunflower. Each one has its timing, its shape. You nurture what's in front of you. You tend your own patch. So here's your lesson. Plant your seeds. They may look trivial. They may feel slow. But keep watering. Keep tending. Remove weeds, negative thoughts, distractions, excuses. Give sunlight, positive habits, encouragement, growth mindset, and time, the most underrated ingredient. In your life, the garden is already there. The question is, which seeds will you plant? Which will you nurture? And will you be patient enough to wait? Because one day you'll turn, and the garden will be full of color. And you'll know, I planted this, I tended this, I grew this. That's how self-improvement happens. Not in huge leaps, but in small seeds, lovingly tended. Go ahead, Choose your seeds and watch quietly, patiently.